So Dorn says that okay, the black people they came from Nigeria to Jamaica to the Cayman Islands and then dispersed throughout the Bay Islands, Guanaja, Utila, Roatan. Okay, Dorn. So what culture did we bring with us? Because you say,
Yeah.
darling, okay, we don't maypole and platpole is not my culture.
It's not. So what is it that I have to celebrate? Like what I have to do? There's no specific date or something that I want to represent black, not white.
Okay. Our culture was so diverse. Remember, our trip to the continent, the new continent, was very traumatic. It wasn't a Royal Caribbean or Norwegian cruise line experience. It wasn't a cruise ship experience. It was being, villages were raided in Africa, in different countries in Africa, West Africa specifically. After being raided, our people were kidnapped, and after being kidnapped, then they had to trek for so many miles to a depot or a holding cells, where you'll be prepared for the long journey. Now, I know you're interviewing me. Now the question is, do you have an idea how many days the Middle Passage, the trip across the Middle Passage took place?
I don't. Do you? No.
Okay, give me an idea. On a ship that didn't have any engine or no motor.
How many days it took for them to cross?
From Africa to the continent.
I will give it a 9 months travel.
Okay. Yeah. When you say 9 months, it's like giving birth to a child. Spiritually, it was 9 months, but physically, it was 80 days, which means that you could compress 9 months into 80 days, where people were confined, they were stuck into ships in the belly of the beast, and storms, bad food, the whip on their backs, threats, women being raped on board when the colonial criminals felt that, I would say, basic instinct, they will just rape our women. Yeah. Some people don't want us to say this. That's like critical race theory in the United States. Oh, they're fighting against it. What are you going to do? You bury your head in the sand and pretend like slavery didn't exist? Mm-hmm. Why do Jews commemorate the Holocaust? Because it's a crime of never again. Mm. Those who do not remember their past would be condemned to repeat it. Why do we remember, why do we bring to memory these painful events? It's because we don't want them to be repeated. And not that we don't want them to be repeated. I would not allow an event of that nature to be repeated in my life, especially. I told somebody that, they asked me what you could do about it if they tried to enslave you again. I said it would be gunpowder, lead, and 6 feet under. They would be accompanying me, but no more enslavement. Oh, that sounds radical. I'm here to defend myself. And some say, oh, he's an angry black man. No, I'm not an angry black man. I'm just a black man that is willing to defend myself from stupid individuals who might hate me because of the color of my skin. Could you imagine you were to ask someone, why you don't like that person? Oh, because he's black. What?
That don't make no sense.
That's a stupid stoop.
Yeah.
You will hate someone just because of the color of their skin. How naive and how basic you would be. So our culture is, as black people, Igbo black people, very medicinal. Mm-hmm. We tend to overlook it, but some of the most outstanding bush doctors, where do they come from? What community? Isn't it the black community?
Yes.
Yeah.
Contribo,
Quakerroot, the pissy bed, and also the fever grass. We brought 90% of our contribution here was the food and medicine. 2 key factors for people to survive. Mm-hmm. So, okay, you go to the Garifuna community, a child has fever. Some of the ladies there know exactly what to do. Mm-hmm. You go to the black community here on this side of the island, and you say, oh, the person's blood count is low. Oh, don't worry, go get some cerci for him, boil it, and let's do it. That's the key part of our culture, but they don't want us to recognize that and acknowledge that because it's too academic, it's too intellectual, it looks too good for us to be doctors by default. It looks too good for us to be doctored by talent. Not right?
Yeah.
Sarisi, contribu, cockle root. They call it jackass bitter, the other thing there. You got the almond leaves. You got the fever grass tea. We got mind strength. So many things that we have used. That's our culture. Our culture is medicine as priority. Because without the existence of health, there can't be no wealth. You know?
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, you're
So, so for you to be existing here, if Audrey to be here and Darlene to be here, first you have to be healthy
Exactly.
to make a really positive presence or an essential presence. So that's number one culture move. Number two culture move is the diet. You know, the breadfruit, we got the yam, and the comfort foods. When I say comfort food, let's say the U.S. experience, black people, the institution of black slavery experience in the U.S. Comfort food was like food that was handed down in a trough. There are people say, okay, go and cook this. But we were able to turn that food into something special today, something nutritious. There's nothing as nutritious as the tapado.
Tapado, yeah.
And that's why Yoruba and Igbo are the,
Can
they
you,
come from
what
the
is
same area.
what is tapado?
Tapado is this, they call it in the Caribbean a rundown, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Tapado is, you got fish, you got conchs, you got corned pork, yeah, you got the salt beef, you get coconut milk, you have the breadfruit, you make the dumplings. And if you were to get a grandmother from this side, the Igbo side, and from the Yoruba side up there, they would coincide 99% on how to make that pot. That means that we came from the same country. So that's part of our culture. So we have to be proud of who we are. And we have achieved things out here. Don't let anybody feel, oh, black people, all they were doing were just working in the field. No, no, no. We've done interesting things. Like yours truly, I started the first civil aviation flight school here in Honduras that was certified with certificate operation 001. And you could go to civil aviation and look it up. Dorn Ebanks, the founder. I started the first low-cost carrier airline here. I met with some serious, that was met with some serious opposition here because I brought fair prices to the people. To
I
travel.
remember. I used it
Yeah.
one time to go to La Ceiba.
Right. And then I was the key, player, or the key founder of the fire department here in Roatan. I ran for office almost 9-10 times. Was successful on 2 occasions, but really got to office on 1 occasion. And when I got there, I began to hack the government. When I say hack the government, government is structured as a mafia to keep people poor, keep them oppressed, and keep them ignorant and illiterate. So I went and did the opposite, and all hell broke loose. And I began to work on renewable energy here in Roatan. So that means that our black people are thinking people too.
Yes.
Not because I'm saying it, but because a lot of brothers are out there that think on our level. They're just that some of them are afraid of expressing themselves. Some of them are afraid of disclosing their idea. They're afraid of opening up to new ideas. But we have contributed so much, Audrey. But then they have created fear in us, in order for us to just restrain and repress, our feelings and our imagination. But at the end of the day, my dear sister, the greatest part of the culture that we brought to this continent was medicine, and people are still enjoying it. Why do people go to Sambo Creek and to Corozal and Tornave, Triunfo de la Cruz and Travesía? Oh, we're looking for gifting. No, they're looking for medicine. So therefore, we brought medicine, and also we brought literacy. Just that you guys were a little stronger than us, the Garifuna. You managed to retain the 90% of your language, which is mixed with a little Caribbean and also with a French Creole. But we lost ours. So I'm in pursuit of learning Igbo again, eventually.
So now that Dorn helped break down a little bit, where black people come from, I want to know from you, what would it mean to you, or what difference would it make in your life to get a full understanding of who you are as a black woman?
This made me very excited. Like, my heart racing to know all of this. Things that I never know. Like, I know that we have medicine on the island, bush medicine, but I didn't know that was my culture. You understand? So, how I can explain this to you? Like, I don't like doctors. Like,
Right.
I don't feel like I have to drink a pills to feel good. I don't. If I have a headache, I don't drink it. But I never knew that probably I can go to a bush medicine doctor. I will feel more. Just mentally thinking about it, I feel healthier. You know, so that's very interesting. About the language, Igbo, I'm gonna research. I want to know, what is that? Because I was wondering, English is not my language either. You know, I just got English because, we inherited from our ancestors, slavery. We were obligated to speak English for us to not to be chastised. So that's why I got English. Spanish, I got Spanish because I'm in Honduras, right? So I'm going to do some more research. I'm going to go and search this up more. I'm so excited. I really appreciate everything. You just opened my mind more.
Nice. And Dorn, so as a person, as a director of the Garifuna Cultural Center, a big thing for me is, okay, yes, let's preserve our culture, right? Like you two, like, let's preserve the Black culture. Let's do this. But I feel like...
I'm going to roll up my sleeve.
Yeah. You know where I'm going with this? Okay. So let's say I speak my language, I dance, to the drums, I cook my food. How am I securing the financial future of my children just because they know who they are? It's important to know who you are. But how can we take that, Dorn? How can we take knowing who we are to the next level?
Well, Audrey, we can't dance our way to success, or we can't dance our way to wealth. I'm not thinking now, but I'm persuaded that we must pursue and we must work towards wealth, economics. We have to empower ourselves financially. We have to create money as a people. We have to get together, create some strong co-ops, create a banking system for us. We have to create, I would say, strong schools to educate our people in terms of who we are, where we came from, and what we're in pursuit of. But at the end of the day, we must stop entertaining people. Which means every time, what's the perception when they think of the Garifuna people?
Oh, let's dance punta.
Cuadro de danza. Bailas punta. Haces esto. Sabes hacer casabe. El pan de coco. That has to stop as being priority. It has to be there, but has to take a pause now. Now we're moving towards making money with no apologies, because the other group, the Euro-descendant group, they're in pursuit of making money. People of Roatan, don't be afraid of getting together and working together to create wealth.
Yes.
They have created wealth as a bad word when it comes to Black people. Which means, do talk about being rich because rich people go in hell. That's a lie. There'd be more poor people in hell if there's a hell than rich people. Because there are more poor that would not move towards spirituality. So, therefore, step number one at this time to preserve our culture and to achieve the respect toward our people, especially toward our Black women, because the Black woman is the key to success for the Afro-descendant people here on this part of the continent. Without the Black woman, we can't move forward, because she is the holder and beholder of the next generation. She rocks they said the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that will rule the world. She is committed, right?
Yes.
And she's engaged in raising the next generation. So we have to take care of her. How do we do it? By being strongly committed to creating wealth, by being strongly committed to make money, by being strongly committed to be entrepreneurial, to be enablers of things that are good within the community. So to preserve our culture, it must be economics, finances, and for the person that didn't understand those two words, let's make money as Afro-descendant people on this part of the world. The Arabic community or the Palestinian community here in Honduras is a minority, small group of people, but they're highly respected and highly regarded and taken into account, all because of one factor, money. They control the industry. But what do we control in this country? Because if we're united but we're not organized, then it's a total disaster. First, you must organize yourself, and then let's get into unity. Unity doesn't mean uniformity. We don't have to think the same or think alike. We don't have to be on the same page all the time. Diversity of thoughts and imagination is the secret of moving forward. Let's create a strong import-export program. Let's get together. If 1,000 Afro-descendant people were to get together and each man were to just sacrifice and allocate 1,000 lempiras a month and say, whatever happens, I'm not going to spend that 1,000 lempiras on going to West End to drink some beer or eat something out or buy a t-shirt or buy a 1,000 by 1,000 is 1 million lempiras. At the end of the year, we got 12 million lempiras. The second year, we got 24. The third year, we got 36. And in the fourth year, we got 48 million lempiras. And all politicians have to come and listen to us then and have to talk to us. But if we have $0, they say, yeah, give them 5 lempiras on election day, they go vote for you. Economics and finances is the next step that we need for empowerment. If we don't move towards that, we will be invisibilized, which means not visible here in Honduras. When you go to a bank, you walk into a bank here in Honduras, you see all of the billboards, all of the photos and pictures of publicity with people that are not black being happy and with their kids, they're walking around and they're obtaining loans or what have you. You go to the next bank institution, when you see a photo of publicity or an ad for this bank, we don't see black people there.
No.
Which means that we don't even see ourselves being happy in a picture. Could you imagine? So again, I must say, we have to create wealth. We have to make money. We have to get together. Let's create a commonwealth. And when we do that, I think we can move forward.
Yes, I totally agree. I totally agree with that. Thank you so much, Dorn. Any final thoughts, darling?
Well, so far that's it. I mean, when the tourism start picking up heavily, we got something to say. So that's very interesting, Mr. Dorn, very wise man. Thank you very much.
Thank you for contributing also your ideas towards. They claim that when you ask question and when you're in pursuit of something, that means you're open for knowledge.
Yeah.
My ignorance grows every day. In other words, I'm trying for my ignorance to get bigger and bigger every day. You know why? The more I'm ignorant, the more I'm open to learn. So as my knowledge becomes a little smaller and smaller every day, then not knowing begins to increase. Boy, that is a good feeling, because then you begin to research more, you begin to investigate, you begin to to go on a quest. So that's what I'm in pursuit of, darling. But congratulations also, congratulations to you for being in pursuit and on the quest of who you are.
Awesome. And thank
Thanks,
you
Audrey.
guys. Thank you guys for watching. Black people are all over the world. I know so many people travel trying to connect with the black culture, and I hope that this video just sparks your curiosity. This conversation can go many ways, right?
Exactly.
So anyone if you're interested in learning more, contact me. I have all my contact information in the description box. I know I'm going to be working with you, Dorn, on some projects, and I'm also working with Darling on some projects, right? So culture, yes, let's preserve the culture, but let's empower. And let's make some money. There's nothing wrong with it either, right? All right, so if you love this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.